Hello, you're listening to Hibs Talk. I'm your host as always, Gav. Joining me today was Billy and Joe. And before we get into today's episode, I don't apologise for the audio quality if it doesn't come out as good as it usually is. That's because we're all in our own homes and we're having to approach this differently today. So I don't apologise for that. We're doing what we have to do and what I hope everyone's doing, and staying safe and staying home. And today we're going to be looking back at the 6-2 game because that was put up on YouTube over the weekend. So we've watched that back and we're going to have a chat about that because, still trying to review a game. We've got loads of different things we're talking about doing over the next few weeks. I know we sort of said we were going to stay away, but if I'm honest, it's been tough the last week. I've kind of spoken in the past about my mental health, and I think that I needed a bit of normality. And if having this out week to week helps people as well, then great. But like this, for me, I need to be doing this every week. And I think we need to kind of keep things as normal as we can in this world that's changing so much. So yeah, that we'll keep on producing content every week. We'll still be here every Monday, doing our different content. Some might be sort of pre-recorded and stuff, but we'll get them out every Monday. We're having chats about what we can discuss. So as I said, today's episode, we're going to have a chat about the 6-2 game, as well as a couple other fun bits as well. So joining me now to discuss the 6-2 game, as well as do a bit of a quiz, is Joe and Billy. How you doing, Joe?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Can't complain. And yourself, Billy, how you doing?
Yeah, good, Gav. Cheers.
Good. So how you getting on with the self-isolating? Joe, starting with yourself. How you getting on with you? I know you're sort of college now, so what, kind of stuck in, having to do stuff from home?
It's just a matter of getting documents for the lectures and doing the coursework that way. Apart from that, just trying to get a test going, trying to get some toilet paper and stuff.
What about yourself, Billy? You still working at the moment?
Yeah, a lot of working. Our club actually got closed on Friday, so it's a case of just trying to put everything in lock-up procedure and just getting everything out of the club that's got any monetary value. So that's taking a bit of time, and it's getting enrolled out of Football Manager time as well.
I installed Championship Manager 0102, and then I did download the patch to kind of do the update because I've never seen a folk have seen it, where you can get the current squads but in the old game. And then I loaded it up and I was like, it's not loaded up the new the new updates. And I was like, but I've not played this in ages, so I've been playing a season with Hibs with like Sassozi at the back, and brilliant. Just really enjoyed that. But anyway, what's that, Billy?
So Tam McManus, wonder kid.
He is. Good. I wasn't doing it. It wasn't a tremendous first season, so towards the end I just sort of chucked him and O'Connor up top. Sort of finished in the bottom half. But anyway, I'm not going to talk for ages about how I'm shite as Championship Manager. So what else have you guys been getting up to then? So we've sort of been stuck in. How you've been utilising your time?
Just playing Xbox, to be honest.
Aye. Any good games?
I've restarted GTA 5. Just something to do in it.
Aye. I was also saying a few weeks ago, started GTA 3, and then I started Vice City recently as well, but I've not had much time to play that this week.
Not played that in years.
What about yourself, Billy? What you've been doing?
I got that bored the other day that I was looking through Amazon Prime for TV shows I've never watched, and I ended up watching X-Files, which I don't recommend.
Nah, it doesn't hold up well. It's no one that says, well, I went back. I remember watching the odd episode here and there because I think my dad watched it, or my mum, one of them. And then, I'd see the odd episode when they were watching it, and I went back to watch it about a year ago or something. I was like, oh, this really doesn't hold up well. So, nah. I think I'm really starting to struggle without the football, though, because, I mean, obviously, there's the whole social distancing and stuff. Like, we were meant to go see Becca's parents today, but, because they're having to self-isolate, so we couldn't go see them. Went to see Mom yesterday, just briefly, and, tipping point was on. And the guy got the big coin on his last one, and we all started jumping about as if Hibs had just scored a goal in the Scottish Cup final. I think that's how much we're missing football already, that we're jumping about the tipping point because some guy within a Ken's won 10 grand. But yeah. We had on Twitter where you get some question stuff, and Kieran Power, the fans rep, sort of said he was asking for the top 3 Hibs fix recommendations for self-isolating. So what would you guys kind of recommend? Whilst you're thinking about it, I was sort of thinking the Sunshine Underneath album, I think, is a good Hibs fix, because that's probably the most heavy one of all the Proclaimers albums. And then I'd say Martin Boyle's Twitch was quite good. I've had quite a good last hour sort of watching that before we started the podcast. And then Hibs Talk, why no? Aye, we're not going anywhere. We're going to be every week. So there's your third one. What about you guys? What's your sort of top 3 Hibs fix recommendations?
First one would be go on the Scottish Cup YouTube page and watch all the Hibs games. Well, apart from the obvious one. Play some FIFA, play some PES, get some Hibs career modes going. I don't know. I don't know the last one.
What about yourself, Billy?
I've got an absolute cracking Hibs Football Manager save that I've delved well into recently, as well as recently watching the 3-2 Rangers game on the Facebook page. It went live on Saturday. That was great.
Aye. I did start thinking about it, but there's been a lot of coverage about that one recently, and that's maybe a game that we could maybe save for me instead. So I thought we'd do the 6-2 game as well, since that also went up on YouTube at the weekend. So if you've not watched it yet, go away, watch the game. It's the Vule had a brilliant Sunday today watching that 6-2 game back. I mean, just forgot how good a game it was, because it's been a couple of years since I watched it, and great game. So obviously that's what we're going to have a chat about today. So we'll get on with the 6-2 game. So, I mean, I thought we'd try and approach this as much as possible, as we sort of usually do with when we're reviewing games. And one of the things we usually start with is the formation. But I don't know about you guys, sort of watching it back and stuff, and the last teams have watched it, but it's kind of hard to pick down the formation that they're kind of playing. It's sort of like, from the starters, like there's obviously the back four, and then you've got Jack and O'Neill, but then Latapy and Lovell just play these free roles and just go whatever they want. And then obviously you've got Zitelli and Mixu up front. But it was just sort of quite crazy to see, like, there was no set formation. Do you think that's something that was maybe more to do with that Hibs team at that time, or would you think football sort of developed since then and kind of become more structured? Billy, starting with yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with that. I also think when you think back to those teams, all those players could play in multiple positions. You tend to find, like, when you ask people doing their top Hibs team, you'll see folk will have Latapy on the wing, folk will have Latapy up front, folk will have Latapy behind the strikers, folk will have Latapy in the middle. Like, players like Latapy back then could just play anywhere. Same with Sozzy. Sozzy was a centre half, a midfielder. You could put him up front, but Sozzy would do well.
Aye, it was that was one of my favourite things for watching this game, was just watching Sozzy back and just little moments of class that kind of come out. But aye, and I mean, we were going into this game sort of talking about the commentators on that were sort of saying about how Hibs had the best defensive record in the league at that point, and obviously this is at October time, and we're sitting second in the league, and I mean, we do sort of look back kind of with some players with with rose tinted glasses, but it's just, we mentioned Sozzy. I thought Lorson was sensational in the game. Sometimes he would be like as if he was a centre back. Next moment he's a left winger and having shots in the box, and that's sort of again sort of talking about that flexibility. But was that a really good balance, that defence? Real flair players like Sozzy and Larsson, and then no nonsense defenders like Smith and Fenwick. Would you say that was a good balanced defence back then?
I think you need those type of players in your defence, like a Sozzy, Larsson, that are the flair players that can push forward. You also need those no-nonsense defenders that stay back as well. So there's always cover there, because when Sozzy pushed up and Larsson pushed up, there's always two at the back. So it kind of helped us a lot when there was more pressure coming from the Hearts.
Yeah. And I mean, Billy, I mean, a lot of people have done, best 11s. I mean, even this week we were doing that thing on Twitter with all the nationalities and stuff. And I mean, even just sort of going for this decade, when you think about goalkeepers, people always say Daniel Anderson, Logan because of the cup final, and Rocky. Do you think Nick Hogan's one that's sort of a bit unfortunate to kind of be missed out in some of those conversations? Is he a bit of an underrated Hibs goalkeeper?
Yeah, 100%. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure Anderson was the sub goalie to Nick Hogan back then, and I think the only reason Anderson played was because Hogan was injured for the Rangers Cup game. Might be wrong, because I was only a kid when those games happened, but Nick Hogan, I'm pretty sure he was an Irish international goalkeeper as well.
Aye, he did play for Ireland. Aye, a very good goalkeeper. Aye, just like I say, I think he gets missed out in those conversations, and I think people say, "Oh, Hibs always had really bad goalkeepers over that spell," and I'm like, but I think that those sort of few years there, I think he was a really top goalkeeper, really good set of hands behind between the sticks. But I mean, we were just sort of praising the defence and the goalkeeper, but they weren't doing that great in the first opening 5 minutes, and Andy Kirk got the opener too easy and Hearts had been the better team up to that point, Joe.
I would say it was pretty erratic for the first 5 minutes, to be honest. The Hearts goal was just one of those goals that you chuck into the box and see what happens. It could have went either way, to be honest.
Aye, crazy one. But then, I mean, I really feel like Hibs started to kind of struggle to get out after that. And then there was a moment, Billy, where Latapy just sort of gets the ball, does a bit of skill, looks really composed, and then he's got a bit of space, and then Hibs get an attack from there. We always remember Latapy for the amazing balls he done in his goals and stuff, but there was little moments of magic like that he could do as well, that we just find a bit of space and sort of show that composure and help the team deeper in the park as well.
Yeah, Latapy back then, like when you had players like Matthias Jack and John O'Neill, they were kind of like men's men. And then you have Russell Latapy, who was just completely different to anything else that Scottish football had at the time. Like, he was just an absolute magician. Like, he could see passes that nobody else could see. He had runs, trickery. He was just far too good to be in Scottish football at that time.
Aye, great player, absolute brilliant player. And aye, even if he did go to Rangers, which I know a lot of people were unhappy about and stuff, just one of my favourite players to ever watch in a Hibs jersey. But no, I mean, they were talking about the formation at the start there, and I mean, Lovell at times looked like he was out on the right midfield, but then we didn't have a left midfield, and then Sosie would play out from the back, and it wasn't like, no disrespect to Effie, I know folk love Effie, but Effie would sometimes come out for the back, and he'd go on these wanders, and he'd look a bit lost, but then he'd keep the ball. Sosie always looked like he knew exactly what he was doing, and he'd play these beautiful balls, great balls like for deep, and really start a lot of our attacks. So I just wanted to talk about how Sosie was. I don't know where I was going with that, but no, it was sort of. I mean, we kind of spoke about how we're away from formations and stuff. Like there was less of a strict formation, and obviously the game's changed a bit, but. I mean, Joe, do you feel that kind of helped that when we had better players that were suited to play in a more fluid game?
I think having Latapy in the centre of the park helps us with a fluid game, as he can just take the ball, run with it, and he can pick a pass from anywhere. So, as you said earlier, the skill that he did, he had loads of space at that time. He could pick any pass. So it kind of helped us a lot with the fluid football that we were trying to play at that time.
Aye, and I mean, it wasn't the best start to the game. Obviously, we're 1-0 down, but there seemed to be, especially between like the 15, 20 minutes, there was a real sense of, right, lads, we've got loads of time left in this game. Let's just get the flow going, get some passes and wait for some space. And there was a real patience about it. You think 1-0 down in a derby, your mindset's going to be, oh my God, we're getting beat at home in a derby. We need to do something about this. But there was a real sort of, let's no panic yet. Billy, what does that say about the mentality and leadership of that was in that team?
I mean, if you think about it, it was a team of leaders. Like, not only you didn't just have Sosie, you had John O'Neill, who went on to become the Hibs captain as well. You had Mixu, who became Hibs manager. You had men who were willing to grab the game by the scruff of the neck and go for it, as well as, like we said, the flair players like Russell. So to have like a team like that, they were not losing that game. Their mentality was basically, we're better than Hearts, and we're going to get Russell on the ball as much as we can, and we're going to protect them and keep Mixu pretty much in the 6-yard box, and he'll just tap everything in.
Aye, exactly. Like I say, it's just that sort of that real leadership. You could tell, like there wasn't even like a lot of shouting or anything. It was just like let's just calm this down, and it was just really nice to see that sort of leadership kind of come through really quite obviously. But I mean, 25 minutes in, I was even thinking, Christ, how could Stephen Presley playing? Wasn't saying that by the end of the game, but but I mean, like I said, I've got a bit there, which I've already kind of touched on about how good Sosie was, and he was just on another level. But Latapy, known for his through balls, the 33rd minute or something, he was sort of. He's known for playing those through balls, but it was the telly played a great ball through for him. I was sitting there watching it on my laptop, and partner sitting beside me, and all of a sudden, just out loud, I went, oof. It was just because it was a great ball through for Vitelli. Latapy unfortunately never got the goal. But there was just that already, like, we're 1-0 down at home, and they're playing with confidence and swagger, and it was just great to see. Lyndon Andrews came on for Jack after that, and then there was a lot of great chances, but then I think we got a bit of luck with the goal. Joe, I mean, do you think that Latapy plays the ball in and O'Neill gets that wee just touch of a header? Do you think that puts off Presley?
Definitely, yeah. If O'Neill didn't get that touch, Stephen Presley's probably getting to that. I think that touch just throws him off a bit, and Mixu obviously gets a goal.
And Mixu is waiting for that mistake in case it happens, pounces on it, and takes the goal. I mean, Billy, that's something we've seen Doidge do a lot this season, anticipating mistakes and being in a position to capitalise on any mistakes that happen.
The sign of a good striker is, not all strikers are going to be these guys that absolutely run onto beautiful through balls and chip goalkeepers and that. Some of them are just going to be right place, right time, anticipating a mistake, being on the shoulder of the defender and just preying on those mistakes. Mixu was brilliant for that.
Aye, and I mean, Hibs smelt blood after that. Mixu had scored, I thought, perfectly good goal. Stephen Presley went down. He got judged as a free kick, but Zatelli with another dangerous corner after the disallowed goal, put one in. This one got knocked up in the air, and then Lurson was winning that ball. Billy sort of said earlier about how we're winning this. You can tell with that one, Lurson was like, right, I'm winning this ball, and he wasn't just winning the header. He was putting it down into that 6-yard line because he knew Mixu was going to be there, and right enough he was, and way too much space for a player of his quality. Tapped it in, and a well-deserved 2-1 lead at half-time. Would you agree with that, Joe?
Up until that point, yeah, I think we got a lot more out of the first half that we deserved. Obviously, the first 5 minutes weren't too great for us, but after we kept building the pressure, we deserved the goals in the end.
Aye. And then, on to the second half. The second half was probably one of the most enjoyable. Well, maybe not one. I think there's one in May that was probably eclipses this one. But it's one of the most enjoyable second halves of football you can watch as a Hibs fan. I think not just the who we're playing or the scoreline, but some of the football that's involved in there is just brilliant. So we came out second half. That swagger's just been encouraged by the 2 goals. I mean, and then we spoke about Zatelli playing that ball for Latapy. Latapy returns the favour, plays a great ball through for Zatelli. Zatelli hits it in 3-1. And just a perfect example of why teams should never give Latapy that much space.
We wax lyrical about Scott Allen these days, but he was like the original. Like, he saw passes and balls that no one else saw, and we were like, I think looking back on it now, for all the kind of rubbish years we've seen, like, we were so spoiled with that team to have like Zatelli, Mixu, Latapy, even guys like Fennick and Gary Smith. They were like unsung heroes, like just an absolute team of some talented players.
Aye, a brilliant team. Great to watch it back. Like saying, I think we were a bit spoilt with that. I completely agree, Billy. But there was good pressure from Hibs as well. So I mean, we're talking about the players and how how good a team we had. But I think you could see that the team was well drilled as well, and a lot of good pressure on Hearts, forcing them into a lot of mistakes. They were a Hibs side that were in good shape as well. A lot of credit Joe has to go to McLeish as well for the way he had that team playing at that time.
Yeah, it was always that the tactic was to go and press Hearts and try and make them give away the ball. So a bit of tactical know-how has obviously come from McLeish onto the players and how they should go and get the ball.
And then we spoke about Sosie getting forward. He got forward. Him and O'Neill at this point are taking the piss at Hearts. 3-1 up. They're playing 1-2s with each other. They dink it over somebody's head, and then Sosie whips in a great ball. Unfortunately, he's Zatelli offside. But I mean, he plays it from a left wing position, Sosie, and he's a centre back. It's just one of those sort of moments where he just sort of would just show his class in a game, Billy.
Yeah, 100%. Like, that's what good players like that. Like, you've got to think as well how poor that Hearts team were to just allow a centre half to just dictate whatever he wanted to do. Like, we talk about how good Sozzy was, but Hearts were absolutely dreadful.
They were horrendous that day. I mean, I know the commentators were sort of saying about how they'd lost a few players and stuff, but they still had a lot of good players in that team. But the way they were set up was ridiculous. I mean, the amount of space we got down the right-hand side, where the left back should have been and stuff. Fulton played the first half there and then went missing the second half. I don't know if they changed that around or what, but aye. But no, so I honking Hearts team, which is always nice to see. And there was a lot of good football played between the third and the fourth goal. And after good work for Zitelli and Andrews, Latapy and Mixu link up. Latapy notices O'Neill's on the space on the right. O'Neill takes his time, whips in a great ball. Mixu slides it in. I mean, Billy, I know you're always a big fan of John O'Neill. But what was your kind of thoughts on how composed he was with this goal?
I was saying to you before we came on, I was like, John O'Neill was the MVP of that match, the total unsung hero. Like, everybody talks about how good Russell Latapy is, everybody talks about how good Sozzy was, but John O'Neill was at the heart of everything good that came for that game. And even when he got his goal, we were just so delighted that he was on the score sheet, because it was more than what he deserved. Like, John O'Neill back then was actually like my favourite player as a kid, which is quite unheard of, because most kids at my age at the time, they were big fans of the strikers. But John O'Neill just had that something about him that was just true grit and determination.
I got 11 Wolfson on the back, but I got it because I was 11 at the time, but also because John O'Neill was my favourite player. So I completely agree, Billy. I think he was absolutely brilliant. And I mean, like you mentioned it there, his goal sort of came after that. And it's just like the corner comes in and he takes a touch, and then I don't know how Hearts give him so much time, but he takes a touch and then he doesn't panic, and then he hits this great shot into the roof of the net. I mean, Billy, I like you when speaking about O'Neill. I mean, the composure he showed for the cross for the Mixu goal, and then the composure he showed with that goal kind of typifies what kind of player he was and how he was always so calm and composed on the ball and always showed that class.
Yeah, he was absolutely brilliant. If I remember correctly, I actually think because of how good the finish was, the commentators actually thought it was Sozzy that scored. And they're like, oh, what's going on here?
And speaking of performances deserves a goal. I mean, I don't understand like I say, I'm a big John O'Neill fan. I understand what he's saying about the MVP, but to me, Latapy was man of that match. Mixu takes home the headlines, the match ball, and assist as well for this goal. But to me, and Russell Latapy was man of the match for that. And I mean, that's probably this was probably the best goal of the bunch, wasn't it, Joe? The final one.
Yeah, it was some goal. I was watching it back today, and I still can't believe what happened. It's just the play. It was nice and intricate. It was something you don't really see in Scottish football much. But it was some goal like.
Just the touch from Mixu as well. Just it's like he gets back to goal. You love to see a striker where it's back to goal, and you think they're going to hold up or something. And he just flicks it with his outside of his boot, and then a super volley into the roof of the net. Just a brilliant goal. And I understand what you're saying, Billy, about O'Neill man of the match, but Russell definitely deserving of his goal and a real candidate for man of the match.
I'll have to agree to disagree there. John O'Neill was still my man of the
match. But no, I mean, like on my notes here, I've got how that was sort of, we're 5-1 up in a derby, and we start playing Harlem Globetrotter stuff for the 6th. It was tremendous stuff. And I mean, the fans were chanting from when it was 5-1 for we want 7 for chanting for about 10 minutes. But Hearts got the last goal of the game. And that's probably the loudest I've ever heard a Hearts goal cheered at Easter Road. So a tremendous game. So I mean, Billy, starting with yourself, where were you for this game?
I'm actually gutted to say I missed the game because I went to the Army Cadets that night. I was ready to give my ticket to my wee nephew, I think.
Wow. I bet you regret that.
100%. 100%.
What about yourself, Joe?
I wasn't born yet, so So I've just got to watch it back and have a look at the 6-2 game.
I knew that was coming, but I had to ask. I loved Callum's response here. I've got it here because I was asking him about it. So Callum was saying how he was living in England at that point, and he was watching it in a sports bar, and he was the only person there, and he was doing aeroplanes around the pub at 5 when the fifth one went in, which I thought was funny.
The original.
But I was my granddad was a Hearts fan, and my mum originally was season ticket holder, but she got converted to be a Hibs fan. So that's one thing my dad's done right. But yeah, so my granddad was a Hearts fan, and we were at my granddad's house watching it. So that, I mean, obviously got to be nobody at the game, but being at your granddad's house when he's a Hearts fan and you're a Hibs fan was quite enjoyable. But yeah, brilliant game. So let us know where you were with that game, and if you were, have you had any sort of funny anecdotal stories to go along with it? So I just quickly wanted to say thanks again to Tempest 4, obviously for sponsoring the podcast and helping us out, but also for being genuinely top guys, but also for the chairs. The people who've listened in the last few weeks know that they sorted us out with some comfy chairs, which have been the bugbear of Dave and Stephen's life, and they can't even sit in them. But I can tell you that I've been sitting in Stephen's chair the entire time, and Stephen, if you're listening back to this, there's nothing you can do about it, because you can't come to my house. So I'll say thanks for the chair. Thanks again, Tempest 4. It's really comfy, and my bum thanks you. So now we're going to do a little bit of a quiz. This one is going to be, who am I quiz. I've got some basically screenshots from Wikipedia here. I'll run through some sort of facts about these players, and the guys can kind of shout in with their name to guess who it is. And whoever loses this quiz, we've got a little bit of a forfeit to do as well. So the first one I'm going to do here is I can give you more and more clues as we go, but obviously try and get it as soon as possible. So this defender started his career with Falkirk, played with Aberdeen, played 158 games for Hibs, and also played in France. Any idea who this might be? I'll give you another clue. He played in the 6-2 game. Scottish defender.
Oh, my head's went.
How many games did you say he played for Hibs?
Say that again?
How many games did you say he played for Hibs?
158 between 2000 and 2006.
Billy, is it Gary Smith?
It is, yeah. So 1-0 Billy. I don't know how it took you so long. I mean, you had a Swedish player, a Canadian player, and a French player in defence, and then one Scottish guy. So I thought I'd given it away with that one.
He played 8 games for Hibs, and I got confused.
Okay, so the next player played for us whilst we were in the Championship, and he played 43 times for us. Came through at Monaco and is currently playing in Bulgaria. Scored 17 goals for Hibs. A lot of his career in Italy.
Billy, Malonga.
Correct, 2-0 Billy.
Oh, I was just going to say that as well. That was, oh, God.
Okay, so next one we've got here. So this one is going back a few years, but a Northern Ireland internationalist who played for Manchester United and Hibs. Also played for Fulham and spent a lot of his career in America. Regarded as one of the best players in the world at that time. Left winger.
Oh, George Best.
You never said your name.
I did so.
I did hear it, aye. So I 2-1. Okay. So the next one, he came through at Bolton and only managed 9 league appearances for Hibs.
Ricardo Vasti.
Nope.
Joe. Villa.
It is Villa, 2-2. Brought it back. Okay, so the next one here, came through at Aberdeen, played a total of 54 league games for Hibs, and won an FA Cup during his time in England, I believe.
Billy, Fraser Fivey?
It is, yeah. Okay, so the next one we've got here made his debut in April 2006 against Hearts in the Scottish Cup semi-final, and later that month played in a derby again.
Benjamin.
It is, yeah.
Oh, how did I get that?
So 4-2. So we're on the last one. So we're playing for fun now. Joe, you've already lost, but we'll just play for fun for this one.
Brilliant.
So this goalkeeper came through Feyenoord and played 51 league games for Hibs. And once his time was up at Hibs, went on to play for Gretna and Inverness before leaving Scotland. Goalkeeper. Polish.
Billy, it's no Malkowski, is it?
It is, yeah.
Why do you have to bring him up?
But we're having too much chat about good goalkeepers. We need to balance it out. Joe, you get to do the worst, or this sort of forfeit. I don't know what we're going to call it, but people can try and think of names. So, Joe, I want you to. I'm going to get my timing up here. So you've got 1 minute. Okay, so wait, I'll get my timing up here.
Okay.
I want you to argue for 1 minute why league reconstruction or should be looked at rather than Hearts being relegated. So the league standing should not stand, and Hearts should not stand, and Hearts should not be relegated. So I argue for 1 minute why. Argue for 1 minute why Hearts should not be relegated. Okay.
Right. Okay.
If you're struggling, we can do it for 30 seconds. This is obviously a trial one. So if a minute's too long, we'll see how you're doing after 30 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Go.
Right, league reconstruction. Everyone get on board on this, right? We're all good. So, Hearts don't get relegated, it's fine. They'll get relegated next year. It'll happen because Daniel Stendel's crap and they can't manage a football team. And they're probably going into administration anyway because they've got no cash and they can't play their players. So, trust me, we're all going to be fine. They're going to get relegated and we'll all laugh about it next year on Twitter. And it'll be amazing because they could have got relegated this year, but they're getting relegated next year. And they'll get beat by like Dundee United and that, and it'll be class. Trust me.
Right, that's 28 seconds. We'll go for the 30 seconds. We'll let you stop there. But that was quite tough. But yeah, you could have just argued the whole thing about how good the Edinburgh Derby is and how you missed it. But no, that was good. That was a good point because I think the amount of cuts they're making, they're going to struggle to have a good team next season. But so I mean, we obviously were speaking to Dave and Stephen on this last week. So I mean, obviously we're going to make a joke there about league reconstruction. But what's your guys' opinion? Billy, start with yourself. What's your sort of opinion on how they should approach this if they're struggling to finish the games?
I mean, for me, as a selfish point of view, I would kind of like the reconstruction and bring up the 2 Dundee teams because then it's 2 away games right on my doorstep. So, I think now's probably the best time for it. And if we did say a 16-team league, everybody plays each other twice and then, I don't know, maybe do a mini split, I'm all right with that. Like, I think it's getting stale playing the same teams 4 times a season. Like, I'd be up for something similar to how the English do it, where they just play each other home and away and then that's it.
Aye. I mean, and obviously, Joe, Billy's just sort of mentioned the 16 team league there, but there's been a lot of talk of 14. Do you think the 14 would work, or do you think if we are going to change it, we need to try and look at 16 or potentially even 18 or something like
that? For me, it's all about trying to get rid of the split. To be honest, I just want rid of it. It's pointless to me. But I think that, as I said, if we are to do it, it's probably best to do it now because we've got the time, got plenty. Not got resources, but we've got plenty of time to do it, and we may as well because the new season will be exciting.
Aye. And I mean, I understand the thing about league reconstruction and stuff, but I mean, I think in terms of this season, I think Dave sort of echoed one of the best points I've kind of heard, which was, what's our rush to finish this season? This season should be the priority, even if it does mean, coming back to it in August, September time. I think that's got to be. I mean, that sounds a bit crazy, but I think that's got to be priority finishing this season. So there's no arguments about, tainted titles or tainted relegations and stuff. But I don't know. Do you think that's something they might do, or do you think this whole thing with UEFA, Billy, starting with yourself, do you think this whole thing with UEFA saying they want the games finished by 30th of June? Do you think that could kind of enforce decisions about whether the league standings are taken as they are?
Nah, Gab, I agree with Dave. I think the season has to finish because, especially the fact that Hearts are unable to pay players and they're going to lose players. They're not signing anybody when this restarts. They're only going to get worse. So I want them to lose it on merit and have absolutely no excuses. I want them to feel every last bit of their pain as they go down or potentially be saved by a reconstruction. But knowing that they could have went down, that'd be enough for me.
I don't want. Oh, they could have went down. Now I want them down. There's too many good songs to sing if they go down. But aye. So we'll finish up, guys. I don't know if you listened last week, but we'll finish up with a bit of food talk, just for a bit of last. So last week we were talking about nachos. This week I thought we'd have a wee chat about pizza because I'm all about these carbs. So so I mean, starting with pizza, I guess we might as well start with the most controversial toppings. What's your opinions on ham and pineapple?
Love it. I'm all for it.
Aye. Joe, what about yourself?
Pineapple does not belong on a pizza. It just doesn't.
I know.
It's why is there something sweet on a pizza? That just doesn't make sense.
As the fact that I don't like warm pineapple as well. It doesn't work.
I've heard a lot of people say that as well.
So Billy, why are you defending Hawaiian pizza?
I just think the taste complements each other. I honestly think it tastes good, but I'm going to go and one up yous. I tried something when my mate John used to live in Dunfermline, and one of the special pizzas they did over there was spicy chicken and banana.
Banana?
And I swear to God, and banana.
Oh,
To God, it is amazing.
I'm not having that. That sounds wrong.
Honestly, and then we put HP brown sauce on it as well.
Oh,
it was incredible.
Oh, come on! Right, 3 week ban for you. That's rotten.
So there's going to be the Dunfermline sitting nodding their head, thinking, "Finally, this has been brought to the main stage."
So I don't know if I can even think about pizzas now with that thought of brown sauce going over it and ruining it. So I mean, on that then, I mean, what's your kind of, use more of a ketchup or a HP brown sauce kind of guy? Joe, what about yourself?
Ketchup all the way.
Aye. Billy, what about you?
If I'm being perfectly honest, I'm neither. I'm all about that Heinz mayonnaise.
Aye.
Mayonnaise, aye.
Oh, love it. That is my go-to condiment. Nice with chips, nice on the pizza. Just fantastic. Although I did see Heinz mayonnaise ice cream once, and that was a quick no.
What about like what about a bacon?
How do you find all these weird foods?
I have no idea. I actually saw a tomato ketchup ice cream once as well.
What about your you say about your mayonnaise? What about a bacon roll? You didn't put mayonnaise on a bacon roll, do you?
Yeah, of course you do. You have mayonnaise when you have a BLT.
No, come on now.
So in the whole debate about do you have ketchup or brown sauce on a bacon roll, Billy goes with mayonnaise.
You're that guy that picks up with mayonnaise.
That's your feelings, boys. You know it to be true.
No, I'm not having it. Nah, that is. Oh wow. Okay, I don't know how we're going to top that. So we'll finish up there with food talk. That's taking a weird turn. Mayonnaise on a bacon roll. There you go.
Boys.
So we'll finish up there, folks. I know it's been a bit of a different show this week. Obviously, looking back at an older game, obviously doing it over the internet because of the current situation. But we don't apologise for if the audio's not as good. We're keeping ourselves safe and doing what we've got to do. So obviously, Billy, you sort of said your kind of work's finishing up. What's your sort of plans for your week off? Or well, I say week off. Your upcoming time off.
I'm hopefully going to get Resident Evil 3, the remake, when it comes out, and just absolutely lose my life to that. If not, I've got Breath of the Wild Zelda game on my Nintendo Switch. I got my mate gave me a shot of that, so I'm just going to sit and play that. I'm really just going to be a big geek.
Brilliant. I love it. I was watching the talk about remakes and stuff. I was watching the trailer for and then my brother's got the demo, so I was going to download that as well for the remake Final Fantasy VII. It looks tremendous. What about yourself, Joe? I know you sort of said about the college and sort of how much college work that you're thinking you're going to have to do this week.
Not too much, to be honest. I think I've finished most of it. So I'll probably just be playing Xbox and trying to complete some games that I've not finished yet.
Any good ones this week?
I don't know yet, to be honest. We'll see. Maybe COD.
Have any's played that new COD yet?
I thought it looked good.
Free download, isn't it?
What was that, Billy?
I said it's a free download, isn't it? It's like a battle royale game.
Yeah, but it just takes like a day and a half to download. But yeah. But no, it's all right. It's quite good. Dave absolutely loves it. He was getting me to play it. I went on and played it once. I've not went back on, which kind of to me kind of sums up it was maybe not that good. But, So final thing for me, obviously this is a tough time for everyone, as I was sort of saying at the start there. If you are self-isolating or if you're still going to work and you're struggling, because the world's not the same as what it usually is right out there. It's, all the shops are shutting, all the bars are shutting. If you ever need anybody just to have a chat to, whether it's just about how much you're missing Hibs or whatever, our DMs are open on Twitter, our messages are open on Facebook. I mean, last night I'll be honest, I was struggling and I needed somebody to kind of speak to. I didn't ken who to turn to. I eventually just went to one of the group chats with the guys and I was like, I'm really struggling, and I know a couple of guys opened as well. So, speak to people if you are sort of struggling at the moment. I know it's a tough time. And like I say, if you ever want to chat to us about, well, even if it's just the fact that Hibs aren't here and, what your thoughts on the podcast or, what maybe ideas for what we should be doing or anything, if you want to chat to us, our DMs are open, our messages are open on Facebook.